Welcome to this week's segment of the Rip-Off of the Week. My name is Adam Andrzejewski, and I'm the founder and CEO of OpenTheBooks.com. And you know our mission at Open the Books. It's to capture and post online every dime taxed and spent at every level of government across the United States. And to that end, last year, our auditors filed 40,000 Freedom of Information Act requests. That's the most in American history. And we do this so you can follow the money, so you can hold your local officials accountable for tax and spend decisions. Today, we've got a great topic on our waste of the week, on the rip-off of the week. And it's something that we do every day now. We've done so since February 15th. Every day at Real Clear Policy, we post a waste of the day. And you can quite simply find it really easily. Just hashtag waste of the day. I want to walk you through some of the posts from this week alone. Let's just start with what we did today. The hydrodynamics of defecation. And you, the American taxpayer, put in up to $500,000 into this study. This was through Georgia Tech and a couple of researchers. Georgia Tech put in $1,500. According to the study, a prime funder of this study was the National Science Foundation. And on that grant, U.S. taxpayers had $500,000. Now, what did the study look at? Well, it looked at beasts pooping. We've got a great video of this. Our social media expert says, yeah, she can post this in the chat. And I, encourage you or not to take a look or not at that video to see what your tax dollars are funding. It's actually gross. You've got elephants, the study found, can poop up to 16 pounds a day. You've got the defecation habits of the sun bear, the lion, the red panda, all of it funded with your tax dollars. Now, Ronald Reagan said that government is like a baby, an elementary canal at one end that has a big appetite, and then at the other end, there's a complete lack of control. And this example perfectly illustrates what Ronald Reagan was talking about. Okay, another waste of the day example from this week is Princeton, the Ivy League college. So, Princeton has a $25 billion endowment. They're a private institution. Just since 2017, our auditors at OpenTheBooks.com has found that Princeton has scooped up $750 million worth of federal grants. Grants never have to be paid back. They're subsidies. It's aid. And on what claim under God's green earth does Princeton, with a $25 billion endowment, a member of the Ivy League colleges, have to your money on federal grants? So here's one of them. Princeton scooped up $400,000 paid for by you and I, the federal taxpayer, so they can catalog their art collections. They should pay their own way. There's no compelling public purpose for working and middle-class taxpayers to subsidize wealthy Princeton or any Ivy League school. Now, at our Waste of the Day, we are showcasing the Ivy League colleges, so stay tuned. We've got a lot coming down the pike on the taxpayer abuse put forward by our elite and prestigious universities. All right, so, here's another Waste of the Day example from 2 days ago. Federally funded study by the National Institutes of Health. National Institutes of Health, that's where Dr. Anthony Fauci works. They put $200,000 into Loyola Marymount University on a federal study. Are non-heterosexual women drinking too much? I kid you not, $200,000 of your money. All right, let's go to COVID relief. The Commonwealth think tank. They're a think tank based in Pennsylvania, and they just did a study. They took a look at the federal aid coming out of Congress to K through 12 schools versus healthcare providers. We just went through a pandemic, the coronavirus pandemic. Frontline healthcare workers, obviously, they were on the leading edge of this. So what do you think Congress funded more? K through 12 schools that in the state of Pennsylvania were closed most of the year, or healthcare organizations? And if you said the schools, you'd be right. They got $10 billion in Pennsylvania, while the healthcare providers battling the coronavirus on the pandemic, they got $8 billion. So go figure. These are the types of stories that we're covering at Real Clear Policy in our daily Waste of the Day column. All right, so let's go to some of the other ones that we've put up. Well, I just want to make mention, first off, that today we've gone live at Forbes right now in real time. President Joe Biden just signed off on the Juneteenth legislation, creating a new federal holiday. What's Juneteenth? That's the holiday celebrating June 19th, when slavery was ended in America. During the Civil War, it's our bloodiest battle. We lost approximately 750,000 soldiers on the battlefield. And so this day celebrates the end of slavery that the nation paid a high cost for. In 49 out of 50 states, South Dakota is the only one. It's already a state holiday. Just yesterday, rushed into law. So everybody gets tomorrow off if you're a federal worker. There's chaos. They don't know how to effectuate this because Joe Biden just signed the legislation a couple of hours ago. But this here's the point. It makes the 44th day of paid time off for the average federal bureaucrat. 44 days. That's only 1 day short of 9 full weeks of paid time off. We estimate that little benefit costs the American taxpayers every year at least $23 billion to provide 9 weeks for virtually every single federal bureaucrat, 9 weeks of paid time off every year. We know in 78 of the largest federal agencies, the average salary is now 6 figures, $100,000. 1 million federal bureaucrats got a performance bonus last year costing $1.1 billion. So it's about high salaries, big bonuses, 44 days, almost 9 weeks of paid time off a year. And obviously they get pension benefits as well. And then the American Rescue Act, if you've got kids that aren't in school full time, you can collect $1,400 per week for 15 weeks, paid to stay home, a total benefit of $21,000 per federal worker. And that new perk in the American Rescue Act that our auditors found and made national news, that's expensive. A new fund was created at Treasury for over $500 million, $570 million. That new federal employee perk costs the American taxpayer. All right, so these are some of the things that we are uncovering and posting every single day at Real Clear Policy. Please sign up to get the alerts on that. I will see you back next week, Thursday at 4:30 Central Time, 5:30 Eastern, for the next edition of the Rip-Off of the Week. In the meantime, if you haven't signed our petition at openthebooks.com to urge Congress to read the bill, we've already got about 20,000 people that have signed off on that petition. We've already turned it in to Senate legislation. U.S. Senator from Florida, Rick Scott, has a bill in front of the Senate that would require affidavit signatures from members in the Senate saying that they actually read the legislation. 72-hour timeout to read the bill after the final draft. It's good legislation. It's good policy. We're pushing it at openthebooks.com. And together, we are locking arms. We're fighting in the same trench. We're fighting for you, and you've got our back. So let's lock arms, fight these battles together. It's going to be a great year here in 2021 as we defend freedom and liberty and the American taxpayer. Thank you. See you back next week.